when I was 16, 17, 18, these would have been the same people that I would have been chasing down. They would have been the same people that were chasing me down. But now we're now working together, helping to change the narrative, helping to change young people's lives, change their mentalities. From when I was 15, I was put in with the council. They put me into an emergency accommodation, which was a bed and breakfast. And then they moved me into a temporary accommodation, which was a 1-bedroom, fully furnished flat. So from 15 years old, I had a 1-bedroom, fully furnished flat, having to live life like an adult. And then they moved me into a permanent accommodation, which was a 2-bedroom, unfurnished flat. I was getting £60 every 2 weeks from the job centre. I couldn't even afford to really even live, but I just had to make ends meet. I'm eating packets of crisps for my dinner, you know, biscuits, you know, the custard creams. I used to eat the custard creams. I used to buy packs of them and stack them up in my kitchen. And obviously at that point there, I was getting involved with the gang. I was hanging around with the wrong crowd, and that's where my life started to spiral out of control. Yeah, you're right. Has Juliet spoken to you? Has Juliet phoned?
Your name?
Hezron.
Morning.
Yeah? So my name is Hezron Brown. I am an inspirational speaker that I go across the country speaking to young people about my personal journey, also doing workshops in knife crime and county lines as well, and gang activity. I started it because I was actually working for NCS at the time, the National Citizen Service. And as I was going into schools, and just going, I've got a story that I can tell. Do you want me to tell it? And after when I spoke about my story, I started to see the impact that it was having on young people. Young people coming up to me after the assembly like, yo, sir, like, I can relate to what you're saying, and, you know, some of the things that you said, you know, impacts my own personal life. So I then started to think to myself, well, how can I do this better? And that's when I created my own company, More Talk, More Action, and started going across the country delivering these sessions to young people. I was walking around with knives every day. I was walking around with guns. And to me, it was just something that I saw as normal. When I was in my flat, a couple of days later, I was sat with one of my friends who was in the same gang as me, and I looked at him and I said, you know, why are we doing this, bro? And what do you mean? I said, why are we doing this? Why are we in the gang? Because I'll be honest with you, I've had man chase me down, try stabbing me outside the bull ring in town. And he looked at me and he said, we're doing it for the gang, bro. We're doing it for the ends, for the postcode. And I looked at him and I said, you're telling me I've risked my life for a letter and a few numbers? So hey everyone, you're at the youth centre. This is where I do a lot of work, working with the young people in the community. As you can see, there's a few games in here. We've got the foosball table, we've got the ping pong table, we've got a little kitchen for them as well so they can make hot drinks for themselves. Because a lot of the time, some of these young people, when they're at home, they haven't got these things at home. Bro, you know when man talk about guardian angels and that? Just when I tell you they're real. Even though this geezer was in the rival gang to me, this geezer actually saved my life without him even knowing. You know them ones? My man grabbed me, because if I would have got onto that bus, the man would have just run up on the bus and stabbed me up. My man grabbed me, spun me around and punched me and brought me away from the bus. The same people that were running me down, the same people that I was chasing, are actually people that now work for me. They're actually now people that go into schools and talk about their own personal journey. And when I tell young people this, they always get surprised because they're like, how are you working with your up? Like, how can you work with ups? Like, I don't understand. And I'm saying to them that actually they're not an up. They're just a normal person, bro. That person could be a normal girl, could be a normal boy. You don't know them. The only reason why you're beefing them is because they're from some next area. It clicked in my head that actually I wasn't actually a bad guy. I was just getting caught up in bad situations and rolling with the wrong crowd, with the wrong people. And then that's where I decided to change my life around.
My name is Moses, I'm 19 years old, I'm from Chinkford. I work as a graphic designer in Shoreditch, and I also do some community work in my area for the YIAG, which is the Youth Independent Advisory Group. And we work in all of the Waltham Forest. And basically we're there to help tensions between young people, the police, in all situations, and help with conflict management. I think what my area is really getting hurt by is just gang activity. Young people not finding the right things to do in the area, not finding the right ways to make money and things like that. So therefore having to result into selling drugs, all kinds of things like that. And that would obviously result in arguments over money, disputes, things like that, and then resulting in death and stabbings and violence and all kinds of things in that area.
Yeah, so basketball's helped me stay out of trouble because it was such a good pastime. Like summer months, I'll be at the court for maybe 6-7 hours just playing basketball all day with people all around London, all coming together. So it always gave me something to do. It's good to have something like that to do, to look forward to, that keeps you fit, keeps you disciplined and everything like that. Right now we're going to go check out the court, see what it looks like, to see how the artists have developed it over the last couple of weeks. I'm building court in my area because whenever I go to other really, really good ones, like Turnpike Lane or Finsbury Park, I see a lot of young people from my area going to those ones. So I'm like, let's just have one for ourselves. Let's have one in our area that we can be proud of, we can all go to and get a good game. There's so many problems with young people traveling to different areas, to different postcodes, because they might have some kind of beef with other people in different areas. Their older brothers, their relatives, their cousins might have issues with other people. And it just causes a lot of tension where they just don't feel safe in going to those places. Yeah, so this is the basketball court that we worked so tirelessly to get developed and everything. Shout out to NCS. Before, this court was absolutely disgusting, but they helped me develop it, everything with the help of Wood Street Wolves, people in the wider community, and I'm so happy with how it looks right now. The colours look a bit faded right now because of the absolutely terrible weather we've had with all the storms and everything like that. But NCS and everyone involved said they're going to run it back in the summer when it's nicer weather, so we can get the paint redone. And it can look even better, and I have to thank NCS so much for allowing me to do this, because I know it looks absolutely amazing, and I just can't wait for young people to use it and enjoy it, and the wider community.
This is my youth club, and I come here every Friday to engage with other young people, have fun and just keep smiling. So, my name's Mariam and I am 17 years old. I go to college, I do athletics, I train like 2 times a week and compete lots of times yearly, and I'm also the head of the sports department in Kaisel Trust, which is there for young people. For young people in Manchester, it's pretty quiet, but like when there is a youth club or somewhere that young people can go to, I feel like those young people are getting the greatest opportunities. So the youth club that I'm attending right now, I think that is amazing, and it's having a massive impact on young people that are around me. So Like, I feel like lots of young people are very thankful that KAISO is there for them. So there's lots of opportunities that this youth club brings. Like, so there's so many young people with talents that don't have the right pathways to express what they want to express, and this youth club gives them the chance to perform, be themselves, be happy, and just let loose anything they have bubbling inside of them. Yeah, I have lots of aspirations to help young people in my community to be happier, because I feel like in this day there's so many young people that just suffer in silence and don't really know who to speak to when they're struggling or to laugh with, because they don't really have that connection or bond with people that may seem to be there with them. And I just want to be that voice or advocate to help people get to where they want to get to.